Good morning. Welcome to the fourth episode of Lot Talk by Bieber Red Angus Crew. Today joining me is Craig Howard and Dylan Spur. I want to thank those two for offering to help me with this. Largely we make a lot of decisions here as a group. We talk about things. I'm a big believer that I'm maybe not going to be right all the time, but if I have a group of people helping me make decisions, we're going to make more of them right. And so these guys have a lot to do with making this program work with selection and the things they see. Because an old mentor of mine, Roy Wallace, used to say that a guy could only really remember 300 to 400 cows. And so since we're running 900, I think we have a little bit better representation when we have more people thinking about the cows, looking at the cows, analyzing the cows, and that sort of thing. So I think it's important that you hear from all of us, and that's one of the reasons we're doing this in a group. The second thing I want to remind you about is that videos are going to start coming up on the 24th. Most of them will be up on a good share of them will be up on the 25th, and should be finishing on the 26th or by the 27th. So we want to thank Justin Dickoff and his crew for the job they do. We can really push it together, and I know many of you are anticipating that we to get these videos. But one of our things is we want the videos to be most representative of the bulls. And I'm very confident that most of the time we take the video and it represents the bull. But a lot of years I've even got the comment, this bull's better than I thought he was on the video, or in person than he was on video. And I want it to be, we really want it to be reflective of what the bull really is. So I hope you'll be patient with us, but those videos will start coming up. We will link them on the Bieber Red Angus site and on DB Auction. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call, email, text, but they won't all be up on the 24th. There'll be a series of them. You'll need to hit F5 to refresh a lot of times. A lot of times DV does that itself, but just make sure you're watching. By the 27th, I would venture to guess that all of the videos will be up. The other thing I'd like to mention is there is new data. Our ultrasound on our bulls will be in the evaluation, and we should have that available on the 23rd, 24th, and we'll post that on the website, and you'll be able to see that. So today we're going to talk a lot about lot 61 through 80. We're going to start off here with a Forerunner calf. I'm going to let these guys give a little comment about Forerunner.
Well, he was our pick of Sam Tweed's calves that year, and I think we've already had one, and I think we're going to have three more that we're going to talk about today. So obviously he's running right up there with everybody else.
Yep.
with a
Lots of performance. Does do it with a little more birth weight, but on cows, I would tell you you'll have no problems. The bull had an excellent disposition. Maybe he wasn't the kind of bull you'd walk up and pet, but we sure had no issues with any of that when it comes to him. You take a look at this bull. He's in the top 1% for weaning weight, top 1% for yearling weight. Obviously that stacks. If you're looking to put pounds on calves, this bull will sure do it. So. With that, I think I one quick mention, we've already talked a little bit about the Ride-On daughters, and it just hit me as we were leaving this one, that they have been an asset. There's several years, they're getting a little age on them now, but there have been several years when these Ride-On daughters have produced lots right at the front of the sale, so they're really a good maternal piece. Any before I move on, I guess, is there anything you guys would like to add?
You covered it, what I was going to say.
Okay. So then we'll move on to 62, and I talked about the marking for cooperators. This one actually is out of as a half brother to Warhead. Sorry, but Dean Christensen has some cows that we run here at the ranch, and we offered him the opportunity to kind of flush one of the best cows and produce some of these three-quarter brothers to Warhead. What are your guys' thoughts on this mating or this bull?
I think again 3/4 brother to a bull that we're using here, you know, gonna be lots and lots of horsepower. You know, that's gonna be a lot of growth in those cattle with, and some darn good females in the end too, I think.
I mean, I think, Dylan, what's your comment about the forefront daughters?
I think they're excellent. They're easy fleshing kind of cattle, easy calving. Don't have to worry too much about them. Calves get right up. They suck. They're good mothers. Can't say enough good things about them.
And I think if you look at the front end, you know, I mean, you can see there's some forefront daughters that have brought some very good bulls to the front of this offering, but they're throughout the offering. And if there's anything we really, I mean, not that there isn't a lot we like about forefront, but we do really like the daughters. And part of that is the old Laura 112W cow. You know, we had two Lauras that are of noted fame. One was Hard Drive's mother, the Laura 158W, and then the Laura 112W, and she was a fabulous cow. She may be the favorite of mine over the 158 cow, but they both ran in pretty exclusive company for a lot of years. Anything you guys like to add on that lot?
No, we're good.
We'll move on to 63. Who wants to talk about her?
Well, there's a forefront daughter right there again.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, just another forefront daughter, just getting it done out of the 214X cow we flushed. And, you know, just, yeah, another stock market calf that's, you know, gonna make somebody real happy.
Yep, the stock markets, in our opinion, are really going to be the highlight. This is an amazing sire group. In my opinion, this is Craig Bieber here. I think they're going to be the bull that changes the breed. One thing I would like to point out on him is you see that back fat EPD. He you know, he has a little higher back fat EPD, but I don't think that's a bad thing because the truth is, in your cows, you need them to flesh easy, and that higher back fat EPD does push those cows to, or does indicate that those cows will lay on some cover and be able to handle challenges in your environment. You know, so they get kind of a negative observation with higher back fat when it comes to carcass because that increases yield grade. But I think that's easily manageable from a feedlot standpoint and how you handle those cattle. And so I know I harp on some of these things, but the reality is that in our cow herd, we need them to be easy fleshing. And they can manage that much better in a feedlot situation. That being said, I'll probably move on to 64. Here's a Tiberius calf. Either of you guys want to comment on him?
Going back to the Primrose cow family, I really, really like those Primrose cattle. I think they did a good thing here on the ranch, and still in the pedigree, it's one of my favorites.
One of the comments on the catalog correction on this one, he's marked as an ET, and it is a twin. Okay, so I want you to know we've had less and less twins over the years, but partially because we've tried to select away from it because it's a bit of a management nightmare. These guys don't like bottle calves for some reason, and so we have tried to eliminate females that were twinning, which you know, if you look at Clay Center data, but we saw it. You know, if they had twins, they were more likely to have twins. And at one time, we were having 30 sets a year. Now I would say it's probably under 5 or maybe even under 10, somewhere in there, sets of twins a year. So anyway, this Tiberius calf out of Hard Drive, I mean, that's been a good pedigree. I mean, it really stacks Spartacus and Hard Drive. I just think there are a lot of good things about that pedigree. So. Moving on to 65, we've got a driven. I don't know if we've had a driven yet, have we?
I don't think we have. No, first one, I believe.
Yep. So I you know, part of it is that we've got a lot of good drivens. We just got a lot of good bulls. You know, one of the things driven does so well is he ranks really high on Pro S. So across the board, he's good. He's good on the index for Herd Builder. He's good on Gridmaster. Any comments you might have about this? You guys might have about this bull?
Well, I think maybe today will just be Sam Tweed Day here.
Yeah.
So we'll, you know, obviously we sold Driven to Sam, and I just talked to Sam the other day. He said the majority of the heifers he's calving this year are going to be Driven daughters. So that's how much he thinks of the bull. He's really high on him, and just lets it.
This bull really is in a rare air area in what he does across the board, and part of that old Joan cow was about as solid as his dam was about as solid as you could make one, you know. And in addition, her grand dam, as I remember them, they were kind of cows that took care of their calf. You didn't really even notice them until they got a little more growth on them, and they were just, just outstanding. And I just think this driven bull, if you're looking to do some things across the board, he does a lot of things right, and they're going to be solid. So we'll move on to 66. Got an E116, a Stockman E116 son. Comments, guys? Craig, you better comment on this
I
one.
suppose I should talk about this one.
CL is Craig and Lindley Howard, so they run a few cows here as well.
I think he's going to be really nice Cavanese bull. It's going to have some growth. That cow's never missed yet. She's never weighed 1,200 pounds in her whole life either, but she's never failed to put one in the front end of the offering. So it's going to be a solid cow.
Out of your bull and your cow.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know that Depot bull was kind of a neat bull. We to be honest, we lost him early to some unfortunate circumstances, but comes out of the Shamrock Nook program. We'll give Joe Dunphy a plug. You know, Joe has been using a lot of our cattle AI and has really liked what our program brings to the table. They have a small bull sale in Wisconsin, and so I guess I wish we'd have had him a little longer, but he sure left us a daughter here that we like.
Mm-hmm.
So then we'll move on to the Maximus son at 67. What's your thoughts, guys?
I think Maximus on Fusion is going to be a kind of an interesting pedigree. I think we'll get the length and get everything. I think this bull brings everything to the table. He brings a lot of the things that Maximus is doing well, and with the maybe a little bit more moderate package like some of the Fusions are, and have that maternal too.
You know, the one really good thing about the bull is that he scanned actually on IMF. He scanned a 118, so he really hit it there. I guess Dylan, you any comments about the 174C cow?
She brought, this bull has a little bit more birth weight than some, but I think that was a little bit on the cow. She's a big kind of cow. Can't say enough good things about her. I think you want a big set of calves that are going to hit the ground and a good set of feeder calves. This is your guy.
Okay. On to 68. We got the franchise son out of the Rose cow. Now we've talked about this mating here a little bit. I think this is my favorite. I've been trying to figure it out and look at the bulls. One of the things Jim Sherm said was you should always go look at them in the shadow of the day, towards the end of the day, to see, because that's when the herd bulls will really stand out to you. So, I've been trying to spend a little time out there in the afternoon having a look at bulls. What do you guys think of this bull?
Well, I think you took the words out of my mouth. I think I like this one a little bit better too. So we don't get everything right when we lot them, and I think maybe we messed up on this one a little bit.
Yep. So we've talked about this mating earlier. This bull scanned 117, 107, 105. He's a bull I think we're going to consider sampling. As a matter of fact, I think he is the bull we'll try and take franchise forward in our program. I mean, several reasons. We like the franchise daughters. Dylan, you had a comment the other day about the franchise daughters. Could you expel on that a little bit?
I'm trying to remember what I said.
Well, you said you just said you'd calve some that morning or watching them.
Yeah, they calve easy. You don't have to touch them. They got really, really good udders. They're milky. They take care of the calves really, really well. You just don't have to worry about them.
So 68's a bull that we're thinking pretty seriously that we're going to sample in our program. We're going to do one of the last lot talks is going to be about the bulls, the highlights, and we'll probably identify by that time where we think we're going to be on what bulls we're going to use in our program. So then we'll move on to 69, and I think this is the first heavily armed calf we've talked about, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
So this comes from Bow Creek. Bow Creek is an outfit in Pennsylvania. Rob Hess and his wife, Bow Creek Red Angus. This is on a Durham cow. You know, the bull has lots of phenotype and just been just been a cleanup bull for us. It's done a really good job and lots of muscle. I don't know. Comments on that, guys?
I'd say he's a heavy muscling kind of bull, and he did really, really well with the mating of this cow, obviously. I mean, 82 pounds of birth, and you're going to come 80 on the weaning and 131 on the yearling. Again, good set of feeder calves.
You know, he comes with a little more frame, which is 6+ frame. You can find frames in our spreadsheet on our website, but also when we put up the new carcass EPDs, we will have frame and in that as well as actual scrotal as well. So just a little comment there. That will also on 69 he scanned 128 and a 94. You know, so this bull marbled really well. So
Commercial cattle, look out.
yep.
Yeah, what a set of feeder calves.
Yes. So then we'll move on to 70. I mean, we've had a few warheads, but this is a warhead on a samurai. Any thoughts, guys?
Probably one of my favorite samurai daughters.
I would agree.
I really like that cow a lot. She just doesn't do anything wrong. She's a really nice cow. So.
She's a little cow.
Yeah, she's not very big, but she'll do it every time.
157 yearling that's one of the highest that I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, there's some 160s, but that's right up there. I mean, yeah, and that's kind of what Warhead has been doing for us is lots of grows. So then we'll move on to 71. 71, we've had. I guess we haven't had this mating before. This is a Trinity daughter.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of them, I don't think, for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't. Yeah, we haven't talked about him yet. But
Yep. So that's a bull that came from Green Mountain, was a trilogy son. We used him naturally. He was leased to Accelerated Genetics. I think we used him a little AI on heifers as well. A lot of calving ease in that pedigree. Looks like she's done a pretty good job with an MPPA of 106, you know, so I don't know. Any other thoughts on this bull, guys?
if you got a set of heifers, he's gonna do you well.
You know, look at that average daily gain of 132 there, you know, so he's got on test and he's sure done it. So
And 55 pounds of birth.
yeah.
How many 55-pound calves do you see
That actually
do
got
that.
to the end of that. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
ratio of 114 at weaning? So.
Yep. Lot 73. We got another E116 son out of another forefront daughter. Thoughts?
Yeah, I just saw that, Dylan, and I just picked it up here. The dam of this calf is. The
Sorry.
grand dam of 70.
I was talking about 70. I went to 73. I should have been talking about 72.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So obviously that 327A cow is getting it done. So if you look back at lot 70, the grand dam is the dam to this calf. Pretty consistent. She's never failed. I believe we flushed her at 1.2.
Yep.
And yeah.
I think we have ET calves coming next
believe
year
so,
out of
yeah.
the 327A
I
cow.
think so. They should
Yep.
be born this
Yep.
spring. So.
Yep. So then on to lot 73, which I kind of jumped ahead. Every once in a while I miss a lot, and so. But here's a stockman on the forefront. Thoughts, guys?
It's a moderate little cow.
Yeah, she probably weighs 604 pounds.
Yeah. She probably wasn't much bigger than a calf at weaning time, but just moderate. Obviously gets your job done. So
You know, that's one of the things about Stockman E116. He'll put some performance in them, and you know, and so one of the things on frame is we really think our sweet spot is somewhere between a 5.5 and 6 frame, and so. You know, we want the bulk of the bulls to be there, but the reality of a bell-shaped curve is you're going to have some on both sides. You know, so we're going to have some 4s and we're going to have some 7s. Well, I don't know that we have any 7s, but we sure have some that get close, 6+. So, I mean, we're trying to really breed cattle into what we consider the sweet spot. And what we also say is the middle. A mentor of mine once said that if you stay in the middle, they'll catch you on the way up and they'll catch you on the way down. And so I think that is valuable, because I think cattle in the middle are usually the ones that we feel the most comfortable with, right?
Yep.
So on to 74. We have another Rouse animal, a stock market out of a Rouse cow. Any comments on the Epic daughters?
I used to own one myself, and they're easy keeping, good mothers, good uddered, good footed, as far as I'm concerned, and just can't go wrong with them, in my opinion.
Never seen a thin Epic daughter. I mean,
Yep.
they've always taken care of themselves.
This one in particular is actually a maternal sib to Samurai. That's the Samurai's mother on the bottom side of that pedigree, which they flushed a little bit in the Rouse program. So, you know, here's a bull that'll sure get it done on calving ease and give you some growth to boot, I guess. Lot 75. Here's a forefront out of a Federalist. So one of the things I said the other day is it's line breeding if it works and it's inbreeding if it doesn't. This is a bull that characterizes that, because he's Fusion forefront on the top and then Federalist, which was the Fusion son, on the bottom. So we stacked some. And it's been my thought or my theory that some lines line breed really well. And I think Fusion is one of those that these cattle actually, they stack up pretty well, and if you can find the right ones and get them in there, it sure doesn't hurt. What's your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I would have to agree with the line breeding. Also, to continue on with Sam Tweed Day, Federalist.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
On the bottom side, I know Federalist left us with a lot of really nice daughters, and I know he left Sam with, or is leaving Sam with a lot of nice daughters too. So I mean, that bull's done a really good job.
He was a calving ease specialist. I mean, boy, you could just about breed anything to him and guarantee they could lay down and have them. So, you know, this bull's top dollar certified. You know, just does a lot right across the board. You know, top 85 or top 1% for Gridmaster. So, you sure can't beat that. Then we'll move on to another Sam Tweed calf, or from the Forerunner bull that we've talked about here a little bit. Lots of performance here. Top 1% for weaning, top 1% for yearling. Any thoughts on this bull?
Again, a little bit of birth weight, but I mean, on a set of on a set of cows, you're not gonna have any problems.
Yep.
You know, they're long and made right. They're gonna be just.
I'd calve them all day long, because you know they'll stand up to the cold weather that we've been dealing with, and have some performance and bring them in big in the fall, I guess. So.
Yep.
I'll make a little reference back to 61 with this bull, Forerunner, again on a ride-on daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that worked.
Yep. Yeah, those ride-on daughters, as I commented earlier, are some pretty good daughters. And I know you guys, as you go through this, you think, oh boy, they like all, but I mean, we breed a lot of daughters, a lot of cows, and we have a lot of them out of the same sires, and we get a really good feel for the ones that are working. And so, you know, they tend to come to the top and produce the bulls. So then on to 77. We got a stock market out of a rolling deep here, and I'm pretty sure Craig has a comment. So
yeah, I want everybody to know that this whole flush, and the cow is not wild, neither is stock market, but for some reason this whole flush got a little touchy. You know, they're not going to come out of the bunch to come get you or anything like that, but they maybe shouldn't go to, you know, some guy who's, you know, I mean, if you only got one bull and you're going to pull him off and put him in a pen by himself, you probably want to stay away from this flush, I guess.
So one comment I'm going to make. So we disposition score all the bulls, and quite frankly, to this point, we've culled anything that we thought was extreme. But we're going to score the animals when we video, and we will score them for disposition, and we are going to provide that on our supplement sheet this year. I think it's a good way to characterize the bulls. I mean, we have and we'll share that scale with you. It's the scale that you would find on BIF, or Beef Improvement Federation approved. But it's 1 to 5. 4s and 5s are probably out in our deal. I think this bull's probably going to be a 3. He's attentive. You maybe want to be a little careful when you work him alone. If he isn't a 3, when we video, he won't be in the sale. So that's a good, good way to barometer. We will not sell them if he's worse than a 3. So that's something to be aware of, is that we are going to provide those disposition scores. We really try to get them all to be 1s and 2s, and we call hard on it. I've given these guys permission to, if they have a problem with a cow, she goes, she's the kind of cow that she'll go into the cull pen. And so, and this mating doesn't make any sense because the Primrose 474B cow is a peach.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Yep.
Just sometimes you get something that just doesn't quite.
Yep. Didn't nick right.
Yep.
And so we don't want to dwell on it too long, because for some operations, some stockmen that can kind of handle cattle, I think he might do a pretty outstanding job. But we want people to be aware of it, that and there might be some value there. We just don't necessarily understand where the dispositions come, and again, we will be providing those frame scores. She's actually a full sister to Let's Roll, and we've got lots of Let's Roll daughters, and so
Not a problem.
not a problem at all. So anyway, we will have those disposition scores with the carcass and the frame scores on our supplement sheet. Lot 78. Got another Maximus son out of the Rouse program. He comes with, top 1% for growth. These Rouse cattle have a lot of performance. Gene and Dan have really focused for a lot of years on that. So I don't know, unless you guys have any additional comment on the bull, I'll probably just move on. Again, if you want to talk to somebody about the maternal side of the Rouse pedigrees, you should call Gene Borman or Gene Rouse or Dan Borman. Their numbers at the front of the catalog listed on here. Here's a Warhead son at 79. Thoughts, guys? Full sister to Samurai on the bottom side, or Spartacus on the bottom side.
Yeah, really nice cow. I don't know, not much to say about it. Just Gabonese with a lot of growth.
He shows up at a 5+ frame, and I would have you guys tell me if I'm wrong, but I think 596D is a little framier kind of cow if I remember right. So, probably at the top end of our scale from that perspective. And when I say our scale, I mean in our population, she would be noted as a cow with a little more frame just off the top of the head. So. And then the last one we're going to talk about today, Lot 80. There's another stock market. Again, we have a bunch of them. We kind of gambled that this was going to be a mating or a bull that was going to really work for us, and I think we can be solidified that it did, because we just got so many good ones. Any thoughts that you have on this lot or stock market?
I really like that cow a lot. Every time you see her, she stands out. You can see her.
Yep, and that's probably why we flushed her, to be honest. But
that's a darn nice cow.
Yep. So that's the end of today's lot talk. I want to thank you guys for helping me with this. You could call any of these guys. Their numbers are in the catalog. If you would feel more comfortable or can't get a hold of me, their numbers are in the catalog. Feel free to give them a call. They know the cattle just about as well, or maybe even better than I do. So with that, we'll close. Thank you.